That didn't sound.
Meeting will come to order. This is a meeting of the Littlestown Area Board of School Directors. This is a meeting of the board taking place in the public in accordance with the Sunshine Act. District residents who wish to address the board are required to sign up to provide public comment at least 5 minutes prior to the start of the meeting. Public participation will occur only during the designated public comment portion of the agenda. Disruptions, interruptions, outbursts, or other disorderly conduct of any kind will not be tolerated. By attending and or commenting publicly in this meeting, you're consenting to the district's recording, retention, and future viewing of this meeting. This meeting is also being live streamed as a convenience to the public. In the event the live stream fails or cannot be transmitted for any reason, the in-person meeting will continue without interruption. Mr. Steve Yerger is absent. All other board members are present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, do we have board acknowledgements or announcements?
Had a really nice ribbon cutting
Mm-hmm.
with, Howard.
On Saturday, yep, very good ceremony. Thank you to Dr. Berryman and Mrs. Mummer and everybody who had a hand in coordinating that.
We saw past faces
Mhm.
and current faces.
Anyone else? Board acknowledgement?
Yeah, I'd like to mention that the baseball field looks really good,
It does look really good.
but we wouldn't have been able to do it without the help of LBFY, Bill, the two that had Bill and Toby Hartlop. It's really looking good. And I can't wait. It's almost finished.
At one
The end of-
drive-in, I noticed that we have
No saucer of water?
no, and I noticed that we have a very visible mount.
We do.
Um,
Yep, it looks good.
Home plate.
Yeah.
mhm. Yep, it's great.
At our first, roundtable of board leadership for the district,
Mhm.
yeah, for the county, I should say.
Yeah, you stole mine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, last Thursday, Jeannie and I had the opportunity to host the inaugural Adams County Board Leadership Roundtable. Earlier this summer, we invited fellow board officers from across Adams County to come together informally so that we can get to know one another, share ideas and experience, and learn from other school board leaders. We had a great first gathering and really enjoyed the opportunity to connect with our colleagues from around the county. And the roundtable is simply an informal opportunity for school board officers to build relationships and learn from one another. It is not a decision-making body. We don't take any formal action, have no authority to act on behalf of the school district or any of the school districts, and it is not attended by a quorum of any school. So I want to thank everybody that came and participated, and it was a great first meeting.
Our, a lot of it was, who we were and why we ran for school board. Best practices like creating the agenda. And what's the other one we did? Oh,
Whether we have
whether or not we have
committees.
committees, what night we have the, meetings, whether we have committees as part of the meetings or separate. So it was really nice. to
How many
have everybody
meetings
else-
per month? Yeah,
And how many
yeah.
meetings per month, yeah.
yeah.
So that was nice to see. And it'll be nice to hear, the next time we get together, like timelines of budgets and reports they get for budgets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To compare how we do it
Very good.
and other things, obviously.
Absolutely. Any other board acknowledgements?
Starts a week from today.
Yeah, a week from today, and tomorrow we have opening day exercises with the staff. So,
You're not.
yep.
Here they come.
Will not have a report at the end of this meeting because it's pretty much just been discussed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well, we still, you can't not have the first superintendent report. We'll have to do it next month. All right. Building principal updates. For the first time, we only have two. So, no, principal updates. Sorry. Dr. Becker, the secondary school.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Obviously, the secondary team's been very busy preparing for the upcoming
Sorry.
year. and all the things that went with it. A lot of us at the administrative level in the building, trying to learn some of the processes from the middle school and how to blend that with the high school, which is obviously a challenge, but something that we think we've made some strides on. Going to really impress on everyone that it's kind of the year of the pivot, that we have to be aware of things and pay attention to things that are happening. And if we see something, go ahead and act on it if possible. Mrs. Golden and Glass did a nice job of preparing us and giving us a lot of information so that we had a good opportunity to do that well. We were able to also set up meetings. So when we learned in mid-July of the change, we invited the teachers of the middle school to come in and meet with us. I think I would have taken the opportunity to go down and meet a lot of them in the building had I had the opportunity presented itself. And we did have quite a few teachers, more than a dozen, came in and spent some time and learned a little bit about some themes from MAMS and some of the things that we can do to help support the merger. We also had last week our successful 9th grade and new student back to school night for the high school, and gave our general session, gave some time for the groups to walk around, the parents and the students to walk around, move around the building, learn a little bit more. It's the first time that everything feels open since all the construction. So we got a lot of foot traffic with that and people coming to see. We also had opened up the availability for students in middle school to come in for 2 different windows on 2 different days, Tuesday and Thursday of last week, to kind of give a self-guided tour. So we had some maps out and they provided their schedules because they had just opened up the previous Tuesday for them to move around and figure out their schedules. It is an interesting building in that it's not straight grid like some of the buildings I've worked in. So it takes a little time for them to understand moving around the building and how they go. And the middle school teachers had the same look in their eyes the first couple of days I've seen them walking around. So we'll see how that continues. And they got lost. They were like, I just keep walking until I find it. They stay calmer than the 12-year-olds will. So it works out well. So the middle school back to school night is Wednesday night. That's at 6:00. Expecting, I would think you would know, a pretty decent crowd for folks to come in and check out the building. I really want to put out a thank you to the maintenance crew in preparing the building. So they did have additional help. They did a good job of getting people there. They had an additional truck, but things moved up here far faster than I expected them to be honest. Like, it was pretty amazing how quickly they got things here. And I forget which teacher, it doesn't matter. Mrs. Pittman was talking about, like, she got to her room and her things were all there and ready and everything was there. I was really surprised. So she gave everything was there. And it was. They did a great job of getting things where they needed to be. So I'd really like to thank them, and the building looks great. So we're looking forward to the opportunities and the learning how to take advantage of them with the group. So it's not going to happen overnight with us being able to do so. But I will speak about this tomorrow a little bit. But I think last year I spent a lot of time talking about we're through the challenge of the building project onto the challenge of the merger. And I think it probably wasn't the best verbiage. It's something that I have corrected since then, and look at the opportunities that we have as a result of the 2 buildings coming together, rather than looking at it as that challenge. And while it is, I think this chance to look at the things that we could do now that we couldn't do before, and the alignment that'll be much easier to get to, is exciting for a lot of people. It's just, we got to get through the first couple of weeks of the unknown. That's what we've been busy with at the high school. If you have any, and the middle school, if you have any questions, that's going to take a little time. Sorry.
Say the school.
Secondary, at the secondary building.
Any questions for Dr. Becker? Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
All right, Mrs. Golden, our new elementary school principal.
Well, Kara and I are settling in nicely. Obviously, administration and us being a team together is not new to us, but we know that Alloway Creek will ask something different of us. So we are really on the journey of trying to figure out what that is. And we don't want to make assumptions about what the students and staff and parents and building need of us. So we're taking some real time to examine and to hear from folks to make sure that we are the best. I'm certain we're the best leadership team, but the best leadership team that Alloway Creek can have. I got on the PA the other day and accidentally almost said Maple Avenue. I've been sending emails to Maple Avenue teachers, so I need to get my stuff together. But much like Dr. Becker, Mrs. Glass and I have been meeting with individual teachers over the past couple of weeks. We've met with an overwhelming majority of the staff members from that building one-on-one with no real agenda, but just in that journey again, to try to hear from the staff what they find to be sacred and what should be protected and what's going really well. Because I would hate to try to fix something and break it and it didn't need to be touched. On the other hand, if there was something that they wanted us to put an extra eye on, to look at from a fresh lens and watch it as a system as it runs, they brought those things to our attention too. So we're very grateful to that. It was just nice for me particularly, to reconnect with people that I had worked with over various years in various capacities. For Miss Glass, she was more so meeting some of the staff for the first time. So that's been really great. It has admittedly taken a lot of time out of our schedules to meet one-on-one with teachers for a half an hour, but I think absolutely worth the investment of the time. The other night we had kindergarten night. Miss Durange is here, and she was one of the huge leaders on that team to get K-Night off the ground. It was wonderful. The students came in, they were the cutest little things in the whole wide world, these little dresses, and they're like this big. Guys, you know, they're like this big. And they were coming with their parents, so excited. The teachers were so warm and welcoming, multiple opportunities for them to take photos. Clifford, the big red dog, was there, and that was thank you to the Thunderbolt Foundation. So all the students got, Clifford's first day of school book, and got to take a picture with Clifford. They went down to their classrooms and met with their teachers and filled out some paperwork. Very informative. It's one of those things where, the students feel 100 times better and the moms and dads feel 100 times better once they've laid eyes on that teacher, right? And so that's what you felt that night. We had a lot of vendor tables, not like selling things necessarily, but informational tables, Cub Scouts, YMCA, and library, and all sorts of things, PTO. And then the very, very best part of it all was there was a signing table. It looks like when high school seniors sign to college events. And so these children all signed their intent to come to kindergarten letter and got their picture taken in their kindergarten shirt. And it was absolutely the most adorable thing. And I kept thinking all of these pictures are going to show up again, in somebody's wedding collage or something, the day they signed their letter of intent to go to kindergarten. It was wonderful. They got a chance to ride the bus as well. Kindergarten team has done a really great job of events all through the summer to help the students to get acclimated, multiple opportunities to ride the bus, be in the building, meet the staff. We have open house for the rest of the building, 1st through 5th grade, tomorrow night. I believe it starts at 4:30 and runs through 6:30. So very similar sort of event where there's not necessarily a program, but families can come in, find their classrooms, meet their teachers, ask their questions, that sort of thing. So as I mentioned before, Ms. Glass and I are really focused on just learning. We can't wait for the students and staff to be in the buildings because we need to see it in action to really get a good understanding of what this year is going to look like for us. We do have our eye on a couple of things that we know need some attention that we're going to be working on, particularly with Dr. Fiaski and her department, making sure that students have supports that they need even before they might be identified. But just getting all the appropriate supports they need as they learn and grow. And of course, another big push as we start the school year will be getting our Into Reading and Mystery Science resources off the ground, making sure that teachers feel really comfortable using those resources off the bat. We have training on that in the coming days. Questions?
Question, but I do have a comment.
Okay.
I met a family whose daughter was looking for a frog for Ehan's kindergarten class. And it was very nice to hear that you still do the animals.
Yeah.
She was very excited to find a frog. So I really appreciate you still doing that after all these years.
Any other questions for Mrs. Golden? Thank you.
Thank you.
We now recognize members of the public who have signed up to provide comment as stipulated in policy 903. When your name is called, please approach the podium, state your name, confirm you are a resident or taxpayer in the district, and your topic of discussion for the record. Public comment is limited to matters of district business only. Comments that are not relevant to district business that is or may be before the board will be suspended. All statements shall be directed to the board as a whole, not to individual board members or administrators, and comments will be limited to 5 minutes or less. The privilege to speak may be interrupted, revoked, or a recess of the meeting may be called by the chair if the speaker fails to adhere to board policy or does not observe reasonable decorum and orderly conduct. Thank you. First speaker is Suzanne Johnson.
Suzanne Johnson, and as a district parent and taxpayer, I support extracurriculars as they are important for student engagement and development. And I want to start by acknowledging and thanking the dedicated staff and volunteers that have continued to work with our students, student athletes, musicians, and other students all summer. I want to specifically thank the softball boosters and their licensed contractors who donated their services to make those fields usable and safe, in addition to the baseball fields that were mentioned earlier. For LSC, for our district's liability purposes, I do wonder and want to make sure that the baseball and softball donations are verified to meet PIAA and other statutory requirements, since it was not completed by the district or district's contractor. Beyond that, I also support career and tech education as an even higher priority for students, because while you don't have to play a sport to graduate, our career and tech education is a key component of our graduation requirements. Last year, the majority approved allocating $1.5 million of capital reserves for the baseball and softball fields and further expensive athletic projects, such as the track and the field within it. So surely it's for a term that was used last week, no-brainer to approve $300,000 for the Actie land purchase. That's a drop in the bucket compared to the $1.5 million for athletics and the stadium. The Actie is critical and this land purchase is critical in the immediate future so that grants and partnerships can begin to support our students' career and technology education needs and our county's economic growth needs. This is not just important for my Littlestown students, it's the entire county here. However, the Actie land purchase vote should not be done tonight, because we must not risk this critical decision being overturned by the court due to any illegal actions by this board. Prior to tonight, there was no public disclosure of last Tuesday's closed session of this board with Actie leadership. And at the beginning, we found out about a secret meeting with Actie leaders, a secret meeting about Actie with presidents and vice presidents from other school districts on Thursday night. That meeting was not only inappropriate, but counter to what Nick and Jeannie said. This must not continue. Under Public School Code of 1949, the president only possesses power explicitly granted by state law or authorized through an official majority vote of the full board. Did the rest of the board authorize our president and vice president to meet with other school boards or speak on their behalf? Who authorized and gave access to our taxpayer-funded building? Could discussions in these district leadership meetings be considered deliberation? And how would these discussions influence opinions and votes within each district? These are serious Sunshine Act considerations. And as we all know, the board's already in pending litigation for Sunshine Act violations. Our board leadership continues to assert authority that is beyond the duties and powers designated for the president and vice president by state law and LASD Board Policy 002. These abuses of power raise serious legal and ethical questions and do not reflect integrity nor transparency. Littlestown deserves proper representation at all authorized ACTI's meetings. And I hope going forward that this board will not select any ACTI rep that doesn't demonstrate the utmost integrity, transparency, and ethical behavior. Further, I hope it's somebody with extensive school board project experience, such as, Donna Bayless and her experience in a large school board for, over 10 years. It's important for these decisions to be made that meet all legal requirements and are done with the most transparency possible. It is certainly not in the best interest of students or taxpayers to have anyone with a prior history of non-compliance with property development or land use representing Littlestown in ACTI meetings, and arguably shouldn't even be on the school board. Given the public hearings regarding permitting and fines that have already been held and pending litigation against board member Bill Arnold, aka Charles Arnold, he should not be considered for ACTI rep and should never have been appointed to this board by the NCLIC. It is in the best interest of our students and the taxpayer in this district for Mr. Arnold to resign from the school board due to his pending litigation. And I also call for the resignation of Nick Lavelle as president and member of this school board due to his gross abuses of power involved in pending Sunshine Act litigation and highly probable future litigation due to his recent actions. Thank you.
Shelter Inch.
Wait, can I just say, no, to clarify,
Going back to me.
Miss Johnson, you're out of order. Miss Johnson, Miss Johnson, Miss Johnson, you're out of order.
I just want to go.
You're out of order. You're out of order.
Like to-
Miss Johnson, Miss Johnson, Miss Johnson.
I would like to clarify that several of the
You're out of order.
board leadership that showed up Thursday night aren't even part of ACT, and we did not discuss ACT.
Oh, you
Not
invited
what-
everybody there?
Miss Johnson, Miss,
Did you invite the entire board?
Miss Johnson,
Did you invite the entire?
Miss Johnson,
No.
Miss Johnson.
Let's
Any
clarify.
further disruptions will not be tolerated.
It's gonna look-
Okay? You're not.
We're not lobbying.
For recess? Needs to go.
Telling the truth, what's the?
For recess?
Everybody will suspend.
No,
Get her out.
and you will fight. Patience now, could you?
Okay, board stands in recess. As stated at the beginning, disruptions, interruptions, outbursts, or other disorderly conduct of any kind will not be tolerated. Any continued disruption by any member of the public, law enforcement will be called to attend to the situation. Michelle Durange, public comment.
I can follow that too well, but we'll try. Good evening. I'm Michelle Durange. I live in Littlestown. I'm coming to you tonight as a parent and a grandparent to share my story and advocate for something that has the power to change lives in our community. As a child who grew up in poverty, education was not a priority in my home. Neither of my parents graduated from high school. Attendance wasn't emphasized. If I went to school, that was fine. And if I stayed home, that was fine too. I was the first in my family in 3 generations to earn a high school diploma. There was no clear path or expectation for my future. Everything changed when I enrolled in the cosmetology program at Vodtech in Carroll County. For the first time, I found purpose and direction. More importantly, I met a teacher who believed in me, someone who saw potential where others may have not. The teacher didn't just teach a skill, they changed the trajectory of my life. Because of that experience, I went on to build a stable, successful life. Today, I'm the proud mother of 3 grown children, a grandmother to 9 amazing grandchildren, and I'm also a teacher in this district, entering my 21st year of service. Education is now not only my career, but my passion and my purpose. I've seen firsthand how access to hands-on, career-focused education can open doors that once seemed closed. Recently, one of my grandchildren just completed the ACTI program in information technology. Watching them grow, gain confidence, and develop real-world skills remind me of my own journey. Programs like those at the Adams County Technical Institute are not just educational opportunities, they are lifelines. They provide direction, purpose, and a future for students who may not thrive in a traditional academic setting. I strongly urge this board to consider purchasing the land to expand ACTI. The school board's share of the cost would be $183,000, funds that have already been responsibly saved. If this action is not taken by December, the project will lose a $500,000 grant. This is a critical moment, and delaying this decision would mean losing a significant investment in our students' future. Expansion would allow more students to access these life-changing programs, introduce new career pathways, and better serve the evolving needs of our workforce. There are students in our community right now who, like me years ago, needed a place to belong, a place where someone believed in them and gave them a chance. Investing in ACTI is not just about the building or land. It's about investing in people. It's about breaking cycles of poverty, building confidence, and preparing students for meaningful careers. It's about giving every child, regardless of their background, the opportunity to succeed. I'm living proof of what one program and one dedicated teacher can do. Imagine what we could accomplish if we expand those opportunities for even more students. Thank you for your time.
All right, can I have a motion to approve the regular or the board meeting minutes from June 22nd, July 13th, and August 10th?
So moved, Janelle Ressler.
Motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Seconded, Ally McCall.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Looking into the 6/22/2026 regular meeting minutes, I just wanted to make a note that under the conversation about Dr. Berryman's vote for her, it was said in there that they mentioned, let me pull it down here. They mentioned that Nick had made comments in here, which is fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. And Mr. Marchese also, Marchese, I'm sorry, Marchese. The only issue I had was that when I read it, I didn't really like the fact that it said other board members expressed their congratulations to Dr. Berryman. I mean, I have a serious problem with the fact, and it's just me, that sometimes certain people get in these minutes and other people, it's just other board members. And I just find a problem with that. I just do. Because it doesn't really say what I said about Dr. Berryman. It doesn't really say what anybody else said. It just says other board members expressed their congratulations to Dr. Berryman. So, I mean, that was a very important event to me. And I would have liked to have had at least the comments from the other board members in there, because I thought that was a pretty substantial event. That was my only qualm with it when I read it. It just seems disingenuous to just say other board members expressed their congratulations to Dr. Berryman.
Is there any other discussion?
I have one.
Ms. Bayless?
On the June 22nd minutes, on page 2, if they could just please spell my name right, that would be wonderful. That's all I have.
Oh, I see, toward the bottom in item D,
Thought it was under H, but let me check.
I think it's missing an S.
No, I see it spelled right everywhere.
It's an SS. Tom's changing
The
it.
third page under H.
Tom's changing it. I can see it. Thanks, Tom.
It's all good. It's
Great.
going really fast.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Right?
All those opposed say no.
Opposed.
The ayes have it, and the motion carries. Under Finance, Property, and Supply, is there any items that the board would like to be pulled on and voted separately? Obviously, A. Are there any others?
I like to pull E, H1 and H4.
I'd like to pull D1.
E1.
It's
All right, can I have a motion to approve finance, property, and supply items B, C, F, and G?
So moved, Wayne Sullivan.
Motion on the floor, do I have a second?
Second, Bill Arnold.
Discussion? So again, I'd like to acknowledge Mrs. Shovaker for her 35 years of service to the district and the sponsorship agreement. We got to see the plaque on the wall during the ribbon cutting and tours on Saturday, and it was very beautiful and great dedication to a great dedicated teacher.
Thank you again for the restoration of this.
Yes. The softball folks. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The ayes have it, the motion carries. And I have a motion to approve the resolutions with the joint board of the Adams County Technical Institute to purchase property.
I'm calling the Sunshine Act violation, as I noted. You cannot move forward with this vote. You had an information gathering session and have not shared that information with the public, so we have not had a chance to comment publicly on that information. Further, you had that illegal meeting on Thursday. You know, there's extreme concerns here. And to finish out my challenge, the decisions on Sunshine Act challenges must be made by the entire board, because you all, as you know, with the pending litigation, are responsible for the decision that's been made unilaterally by Mr. Lovell and you're at times with the solicitor, and still led you to legal challenges that have cost the district over $20,000. So I would recommend adjourning for executive session to discuss the legality of proceeding with this under the Sunshine Act. Thank you.
Mr. Walker.
Do you want an executive session?
Unless you think.
Okay. We've been through this before, ladies and gentlemen. When there's a Sunshine Act violation, we acknowledge the violation. We will discuss the merits of it, and then we will make a decision as to whether to proceed. The board did have that information session. Our board president has a announcement for that during his report, but I can address some of this now. Section 707B of the Sunshine Act specifically says that an agency is authorized to participate in a conference which need not be open to the public, but that deliberation of agency business may not occur at a conference. Pennsylvania Supreme Court reaffirmed the permissibility of board conferences in 2013 in the well-known decision of Smith versus Township of Richmond, which confirmed that closed gatherings may be held solely for the purpose of collecting information or educating agency members about an issue. There's no requirement within the Smith versus Township of Richmond decision or Section 707B of the Sunshine Act that requires that information that was gained by the board in that closed session be specifically shared with the public. That is part and parcel, however, of the deliberation that may occur on these items tonight. Additionally, I was not at this roundtable discussion of board members throughout Adams County, but there was not a quorum of any one board there. Nor from what was reported was there any indication that this property purchase or this agenda item was discussed. So it'd be my recommendation. I don't believe there's a Sunshine Act violation, and we can move forward. I don't believe there's a opportunity for response here either, Ms. Johnson.
Didn't address my concern. It wasn't on the legality of the meeting as a conference. It was whether discussions and deliberations happened, and that the entire board, you also did not address whether the entire board, I mean, you're subjecting the entire board of 9
Ms.
to
Johnson,
litigation. You did not address that.
I will respect you, but I'm not going to argue with you.
No, I'm
Yes,
asking you to
and I will tell you, I will.
address the board like to himself.
Johnson. We believe that the objection's been addressed. I recommend the meeting continue unless the board have anything else. Is there any board member that would like further discussion on that?
It would be nice to know what happened Thursday night.
I
and
told
know what
you.
was discussed. I wasn't there. I didn't even know about it at the
Introduce
beginning.
yourself,
before
we
acknowledgement.
discussed why we ran for school board. We
Mhm.
discussed how we do meeting agendas. And we discussed nights we do meetings, whether or not we have committees, and whether the committees are part of regular meetings or if they have a separate night. That's basically what we talked about. It's about best practices and how we do things. We're not deliberating on issues. Majority of the people there are not part of the 5 that are part of ACTI. So, and we never discussed ACTI. We did not discuss anything. We didn't deliberate on anything or discuss anything like that. We talked about best practices on meetings, creating agendas, and what our committees and how we run them. That's it.
Was there a specific reason why other board members were not invited?
It was
I'm
for
just
leadership.
asking.
We're the ones that do the agenda and stuff like that. That's all it was. We're the ones that decide best practices. So we wanted to meet and see how they do it.
We're going to get back to the agenda here. Do any board members wish to discuss with Dave any questions on anything? that's been
Dave
brought up
was
here?
there during
No, I'm
the
talking.
meeting with
no.
ACTI to get information gathered. So
Right.
he knows he's not deliberating.
Ms. Johnson, you're out of order. The
Deliberate
gentlelady is out of order.
deliberation
You're out of order.
meeting on Tuesday nights.
Ms. Johnson, if this continues, I don't want to have to go this route. No, listen,
Because
this is my opportunity. Ms. Johnson.
litigation that you
If this continues, Ms. Johnson, if this continues, we'll have no choice but to recess the meeting and call law enforcement. This is a public meeting. We have addressed your concerns.
Because you know what? You've been involved in it the whole time.
Johnson,
You know
you're.
what?
Mr. Sullivan, she asked you a question. Can you answer that for her?
Did we deliberate?
Is there any discussion that could be considered deliberation?
That was not your original question. You
Yes.
said your discussion and deliberation on.
Johnson, you're out of order for the last time. That's your last warning.
Dwayne.
I want the answer.
I don't know what I'm allowed to say because.
It's a yes or no.
The attorney. Yeah, but I didn't talk to the attorney, so I don't know what I'm
I
allowed.
was asking you. You don't owe me an answer.
Couple of hours we deliberated on.
Discussion.
We gathered information.
Are we allowed to even talk about it?
So.
We're going to discuss it when we discuss
Okay.
right now.
So Are we going to discuss it?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It was receiving information from the representatives at ACTI. You can share all that information now. There's nothing confidential. The key part was that you were receiving information consistent with the Township of Richmond decision and the multiple times during that. Did I not say we cannot deliberate? We cannot deliberate. So if there's any further conversation on the Act objection, it would be helpful. You're allowed to answer that. That's fine.
Oh, so you interrupt.
You were there, so there wasn't any, there was no deliberation.
Okay, Mr. Lorenz. Can I have a motion I think the objection was overruled.
We ruled on the objection. We are back. There's a motion and second was there a motion and second?
There has not been a
Thank you.
motion yet. Can I have a motion on FPNS item A?
Where I'm at.
Or a motion?
I give a motion.
Okay, motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second for discussion.
Okay, moved and seconded. Discussion.
My discussion would be, in this discussion, are we going to talk about some of the things we talked about in that meeting? Okay, because that way, if I'm going to vote on this, I'd rather the public kind of know more information of what we learned.
Now is the time to deliberate.
Okay,
That's
okay.
discussion.
Cool. That's all I wanted to know. If somebody's going to, somebody
Go ahead.
summarize it.
If I can just share some thoughts that I had gained from what they shared with us, which was Sharon Perry, who is the acting superintendent, for ACTI. I think she's the superintendent.
Superintendent of record.
Yeah, okay, thank you. One thing that concerned me that she shared with us that I had heard for the first time, I'm assuming we all did, was that nobody else is looking at this land right now. I think she said maybe 2 or 3 other people, if I'm
correct? Other persons looked at the land, because something that was said to us is if we purchase the land, down the road, we can sell it. And that to me was a concern and raised a red flag. And this is the first you guys are hearing this, because we couldn't talk about this and deliberate the other night. So I'm
It would just
concerned.
be an asset on their books.
Yes, it would be an asset on their books.
Gone.
Correct. But if in 2 or 3 years down the road, the districts that are involved with this decide not to do it and we want to sell it, we can. Okay, well, if we only have 2 and I believe, or 3, and we were one of those, the schools that are part of ACTI looking at it, what's going to happen? We're going to have this on our hands and not be able to offload it. So I have some concerns about that. Something else that I have thought about this week and hearing from them, which I didn't feel was a lot of new information to us, but that was something that was new. They did share some of the programs they're looking at, which I think they've done that before with everybody here when they came and spoke the last time that they were here. Why can't we possibly change up some of the programs that we have? I know one thing they did share was welding is a big one. HVAC is a big one. Why can't we interchange maybe some of the programs we currently have and bring in welding and bring in HVAC? It's a need. I mean, I have a son who's involved in HVAC, and I mean, he's doing rather well for himself. So it's obviously a big need. So those are some things that we can look at here, take back to them, have ACT look at, the JOC look at, and discuss some of those things. We also have MAM sitting down here empty right now.
And hack.
And hack. And I know that there were, I think, 4 other feasibility studies brought in or looked at with previous boards and things. I think that was something they did share with us the other night. That was, I think, a new piece that I had heard. I would still like to consider it. You look at it again. It's a lot of money. I mean, we in Littlestown just completed a new school. I'm kind of surprised at New Oxford, because they're doing a whole building and adding in some new things as well, a lot of money. I just think it's a big burden right now to put on our taxpayers with moving forth with it. So those are just my thoughts that I haven't been able to share with any of you and just discuss with any of you. I don't know if any of you have the same thoughts, if you have anything different. If you can, yeah, go ahead.
One of the things that I asked, 'cause I know you weren't there, right? One of the things I is, because some of the current programs have a really great junior and senior year. And some have a really great junior year, and then they go and get jobs during the senior year. So there isn't really anything happening, no learning happening for some of them for senior year. So you could do a junior in the morning and a junior in the evening of other programs, rather than, the same program and nothing's happening in the afternoon. So they said they were going to look at those programs that they have now. And I think, did anybody else have anything? I lost my train of thought.
Mr. Arnold?
So my biggest concern with it is for the taxpayer. I cannot agree more that we need technical schooling for our kids. I feel that's more important than anything else after over college. Looking at this project in a larger scope, yes, we're on the hook for $110,000 or however much it may be. 3 to 5 years down the road, if we get grants, we're looking at $12 million. Those are just quick numbers in my brain. That's nothing guaranteed numbers, but it's just quick numbers that I thought about. That's a lot of money. And going through our transition here with the high school, I feel we're better off to offer them MAMs as an interim school. Allow them to do a triple net lease on that or whatnot, and let their program grow. When that program then grows outside of the realm of Maple Avenue or Hack, whichever building they decide to go with, then have this discussion. That property's been on the market for two years. No one's jumped on it. So to me, is that the viable property? Is that the property we need to go with? Do we need to necessarily do that? And if we do go with that, 3, 4, or 5 years down the road, this does not work. We have a piece of property that we can't sell. And also, then we have to get 5 school districts to agree to sell it. So that's my hang up. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Jump in and say that property concern is one on my list of concerns. Another concern of mine is that it's not only this property, but say everything is ideal with this property and they move forward. The costs that you're talking about, minimally in today's numbers, they're looking at a $70 million project in the next few years. That's only going to increase.
$95 million project.
And
Not a solid plan.
correct.
Yeah.
And
There is no building design for us to go off of. We're going off of words.
And I don't know that because, and they're planning on starting all of the new programs all at one time upon the completion of the project, which hits us twice at one time with a doubling of the operational costs and the large amount of debt service. The other concern that I have is the fact that I think that this, to just do that plan is not time effective enough, because every year that we're waiting on this big new building to be created is another class of students that we're missing and that are not getting the opportunities of the expanded programs of ACTI. I would like to see ACTI pursue some other short-term measures that we can expand the program in the meantime, while we're looking into what's the long-term viability and home for ACTI going to be. I know that the Hack Building is willing to lease space to ACTI, not to make us buy it, but to lease space. We'd be willing to lease space. Satellite campuses are a part of the ACTI's bylaws. I believe that there's been some discussion in Gettysburg of the possibility of doing some expansion onto the current property. There's a lot of options on the table. And ACTI, and nobody here wants it to go away. We want it to grow, but we want it to grow in the best and most fiscally responsible manner.
And as soon as possible.
And as soon as possible. So that would be my thing, is I want to see it done in the most cost-effective and quickest way possible. It might not be the ideal, perfect world, exact right school that's going to fit everything that we need. But I think that as the school districts, I think that we can be pretty creative in getting the best bang for our buck and really getting the students in there as cost effectively and quickly as we possibly can. Is there any other discussion?
I like the idea of doing something now, like satellite, even if it's Hack. We could do a tour of Hack, because then it's all right there, and we're doing new programs now rather than 5-10 years down the road once that building's built. If that property is even good.
Even the middle school, that's half the square footage that they wanted.
Been offering that middle school since 2019.
And then I don't think the gentleman that was there, he wasn't even really sure that he could get any more grants to help, with the cost. So we would really be eating a lot of costs. With no plan.
It was the opposite way. I think he was predicating his entire plan off of grants, because the sparkle I saw in his eye when we talked about, that figure of money, we can get grants. Okay, sure. Like just 5 grants.
Yeah, he said 30,000 for the districts, and he was going to raise the other 30 million for the districts, and he was going to raise the other 45 million somehow.
Yeah,
He said
seems
something-
very sure. And that's current.
45 million
It's not
somehow.
5 years from now. That number goes to 90 million in 4 to 5 years.
So how he's going to raise 45 million?
I don't know. To me, it seems like
Need them all.
they have it in their mind that it's an all or nothing plan. Like it just, yes, obviously we all agree on the importance of it. We agree that, growing the program is great, but that has to be an incremental thing. Going from, the 8 to 14 shops, just like that, when they're already saying right now that they can't even service the shops that they do have because they have wait lists. Okay, then how about if you know that you have a burning desire and need for that course, then build 2 of that course, or like you had said, streamline that so that it is either just a junior program, just a senior, just an AM, just a PM, whatever the case may be. But yeah, even just operating costs alone, going from one end to the other extreme, it's just not feasible. And I share the same concerns with the land deal. It just doesn't seem like it's in demand. And are you going to have a hot potato on your hands? So.
I think the thing that gets me is that people think if we don't buy the land, then we're not expanding ACTI, and that's not
Never.
true. We want, right? I personally want something sooner and a better option.
And hack is, or, hack is perfect, or.
And I also
Middle school.
feel for us to jump on a piece of land that's been for sale for 2 years because of a grant, that there's a possibility that could get extended from the way I'm understanding.
Ask that if
And-
they could look into extending it.
And if you look at the big picture of $92 million, roughly, including the purchase of the land, that 500,000 is an absolute drop in the bucket. So I just can't put this on our taxpayers as an additional expense and burden tax-wise.
When there's fiscally better option.
Not this price tag.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Can I step?
Well, and they were saying, I think they shared with us about, if it could be even more than that, depends. I mean, things could get even more outrageous. So they don't have, there's no dollar amount. So we could be agreeing to something that we don't even know what to take back to our taxpayers at this point or in a year or two, because they don't know yet.
Mr. Sullivan?
Thank you. Appreciate it. I just like to delve on some of the subject matter that's very important to the community, if you wouldn't mind. I'm sure I can talk about it. If your Wilker said I could. Okay, right now, we're presently just with the one building over there. We have 20,000 square feet. I've been there. I was the ACTI rep, as everybody knows. I first came on the board in 2023. I was very happy to be over there. I loved it over there. It's great people. They're looking to improve their building size to 142,032 for the entire facility. They're gonna have 14 programs. Right now, they have 8. The 8 that they have right now are diesel, allied health, early childhood, culinary, system, networking, construction, criminal justice, and they also have what's called diversified education. That's their 8th. They're looking to add welding, vet technology, automotive technology, auto collision, adult education program, HVAC, plumbing, and some sort of agricultural science program, maybe mechanics of sorts. They did from what I understood, they did a feasibility study with what didn't cost them anything back 3 years ago, I believe it was. And they came back and figured out that they were going to need to they were going to have 500 to 600 students when this is done. Right now, we got 180 students that wanted to come in, and we only could take 130, so we had to turn away 50.
5 districts, not.
Yeah, correct. Our operating costs for this district at this point, what our operating costs are to ACTI for what we have now is $206,000 a year. That's what we pay ACTI for our students to go there. It would double to 412 with this new program. They're looking to finance roughly, $5 to $6 million if they get all the grants they can get on a 20-year plan. They had looked at 23 properties and really looked at 14. And I do know all their teachers have to go through the PDE program to be certified. My biggest thing with this land deal is buying the land is the only way that ACTI can obtain grants. Without the land purchase, they can't go for grants. So if we stall the land purchase in lieu of everything else, we have no way of obtaining grants for this program. We're going to be backed against the wall.
It's not true.
No, that is true. That's what he said.
An existing building got 80 million in grants to renovate an existing building.
Well, he had.
And we have an existing building and has an existing building.
But they had said it really wasn't a feasible option from what I heard. That's what I heard them say. And
If it's been done, we could do it.
But when I said that, I also asked them, since I was over there back then, I said, I went there when the classrooms were full. And they are overcrowded in those classrooms. There's no way they can exist permanently in that building over there. I went in there myself while the students were there, all of them, all 8, including the childcare. And it was they're just crammed. It's like cramming a whole classroom in this tiny little room smaller than this. Yeah. It's not going to be feasible to keep those classes there for the next 10 years. I think we're running into a conundrum where we are getting to a point where we're outgrowing that building by 1,000. We just are. Even if we were to satellite some of the students, let's say we did, we're still going to have to do something about that building because it's not big enough. And that's where my concern is. My concern is, when do we jumpstart this program? When do we? If we do, when do we jumpstart it? I mean, something has got to go forward, instead of delay. That's just my opinion. So, I mean, take it how you want to take it. I know this district is strapped financially. I get that. But my point is if they buy the land, it was well said that tonight we're voting on buying the land only. We're not voting on the 75 million yet. If they come back and they say, we can only get 20 million in grants, then we're just gonna say it's not feasible. We don't have a choice. Okay. If they come back and say we got 60 million in grants, I'm just saying, I'm not saying we will. Then we're gonna be like, oh, so we only owe whatever. Okay, we can do that between 5 districts. That's where I put my thought process in this. I would just make a suggestion that the board consider that in their decision tonight, because I think ACT is a very important part of the students' learning and their ability to have trade skills. I grew up having very good trade skills. I was blue collar, trade skills were my thing, and I didn't learn computers or anything like that. So actually it did me a favor having those kind of trade schools. If it wasn't for the fact that I could go to Carroll County VoTech, then I could learn stuff. I don't think I would have been where I am today. And I look at these students, every year goes by where we're pausing it. And I'm saying we're losing 2 years of students every year. And it's just bad. I feel for them. They really need an education other than, college and white collar jobs. They need to learn, hands-on. And the community needs it. Community needs the HVAC. They need the plumbing. Adams County, I mean. So, to me, it's a worthwhile investment in the students and our district. That's just how I feel. And I want to thank you, Mr. Lavelle, for indulging in my level. I can never say that. I apologize. Level.
Isn't a building project like 10 years down the road before we even open it?
3.
Or we want,
They said 3.
3.
And I know I'm not holding them to 3.
That might not be that.
we want something now.
I say, take advantage of existing properties, regardless if it's manned, regardless if it's hacked, regardless if it's something else in Adams County. Get these programs started, justify the reason to have the property and move forward. I cannot see, because the long-term goal, I'm not looking at right now, is to build. In 5 years, it's a $90 million project and no guarantee of grant.
And to piggyback on that, that's something we could start sooner because we have the existing buildings. May have to be some renovations done. But those are some options that we can look at to get the program expanded sooner than waiting down the road. Because again, they shared their goal is 3 years, but it might not even be that.
Nick, just want to tell Mr. Walker,
Let's go back.
no, I am going back.
I'm just going back. One person at a time, try to seek recognition just so that we can make sure that we're going in, that we're here. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Just one more statement. What I just read was the gist of the meeting.
Information.
Information. And what I just read was me breaking notes, taking notes. That's what we talked about. That was the information we got.
That's
correct. And there was no decisions made in that meeting. So yes, we got a lot of information. I just wanted to make that statement because I took very good notes.
It's very helpful. Thank you.
So just so everybody knows.
Thank you. Any other members of the board seek recognition? Ms. Bayless.
Well, my understanding is Gettysburg has not voted on this yet. Have they?
They vote, their meeting starts now, 7 o'clock, so they vote tonight.
Okay. So all of this conversation that we just had, could it be all for nothing? Because if they vote and I'm not there, so I don't know how they're gonna vote, and I haven't talked to any of them, but I'm just saying, if they go ahead and vote tonight, and if they vote in favor of it, all of the discussion we had around this entire table was for nothing. Because the understanding is, was it 2/3 or whatever of 4 or 5 of the
It
groups?
has to be a super majority.
Majority.
It's 4 of the 5. But I understand what you're saying is that,
Vote in favor
is that our,
Super majority.
yeah, what I'm saying, I understand what you're saying in terms of our vote would be, or our discussion, and if we say our discussion would be modified, but we have to make the best decision for the sake of our district.
Stay.
Correct. So here's what I have to say. With that in mind, with the fact that they're voting tonight, and we don't know what how they're gonna vote, how that's gonna turn out, right? With that in mind, and the fact that there's a lot of public out there, our public, our community, that does not know a lot of information in regards to this. We had a town hall last fall that turned out actually very well. We had a good turnout, but a lot of people show up, a lot of parents show up. I thought it was very well held. I think it would be, and it costs us nothing. It costs us absolutely nothing. I think it would be fabulous if we would consider thinking about possibly having a town hall on this topic and hearing from the public. And we could start the town hall out by letting the public know, this is what we as a board know right now. This is what we want. This is what we're looking for. These are some of the costs that we're looking at. You know, this is what we've done so far, et cetera, right? And then fielding questions or concerns from the public. And I think after that, it kind of evens the playing field for everyone, for parents, for the public, for taxpayers. And then I think that would be a perfect time to take a vote on this. And we could do that fairly soon. We could, I mean, it doesn't have to be long down the road in the distance. I think it would be very helpful. And I think that public would appreciate it because we would be including them in not only educating them as to what we know, but also listening to their concerns or questions that they may have.
What if Gettysburg votes yes tonight and it does a moot point?
I still think it would be helpful to the public. I mean,
we don't know anything more than what we've already shared. I mean, that's what we don't, I mean, I like the idea. I just don't know, people come with us, ask questions. We're not going to have the answers because we can go and share with them what we hear in a more of a, more people might come. But I mean, I don't.
Table it? Do you want it?
Not only that, but they're on a time restraint here also, aren't they? They have a certain amount of time to
close the deal.
They have to close this.
We delayed this 2 months already.
Exactly. I mean, we've already delayed this.
I don't want to speak, I'm sorry.
So go ahead, Dwayne.
So, we have in December, when they bring it. So we do have some time. If we wanted to put it off for another month, maybe into September and do something different, that's up to the board.
What is that achieving?
Well, I think from what I've been hearing from different taxpayers, there's a lot of mixed emotions about to do it, not to do it, because of the finance part of it.
And Dwayne, I feel that there's definitely a need for trade school.
Correct. I don't think you don't think that.
You and I both we're in trade.
Yeah.
So in my eyes, we have a very viable option, multiple options to start these programs ahead of time. Purchasing this land is not guaranteeing that we're going to get these classes.
And it's not like it's not like they're not going to happen if we don't buy the land. I don't understand, like, for me, I can't wrap my head around I don't understand that. I think people thinks we're not going to have these programs. We can still have these programs and just not be tied down to all the financial obligations.
And to that point,
I mean, we didn't even vote yes. You guys didn't vote yes for air conditioning. And then you want millions of dollars?
no, I've been on this board it'll be 3 years December, and I have watched this slowly crawl for 3 years, and I'm like, we're going to crawl.
Exactly. At some point, we have to make a
We
decision.
got to make a decision. I mean, I was over there at ACTI. I was a rep. I mean, I'm very familiar with it. It's a great program.
And to expand the basement, you voted no to all that with the digital photography and everything down there. You voted no to that.
Blue collar stuff.
I did vote. You're correct, but that has nothing to do with my thought process on ACTI. I think ACTI was going on a lot longer than the basement, and that's why I think it's time to do something about it.
Any other board members seek recognition? All right, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it, the motion fails.
This time I need to interrupt. We're going to take a recess for executive session for an agenda item later on the agenda, but the attorney that we need to meet with is on a time frame. So we are going to go into executive session. We will come back, pick up the agenda where we left off. But the person who needs to provide us information with the agenda item further down needs to be finished before we get to that item.
Okay. The board stands in recess and we will formally announce the executive session when we get back. Mr. Walker?
Thank you. I'm going to take care of this announcement for Mr. Lovell. Item, I believe, 4A on the agenda tonight is the approval of a settlement agreement in a legal matter against the district. The board just met in executive session with council to discuss that settlement agreement, which is permissible under section 708A4 of Sunshine Act, which allows consultation with attorney related to pending litigation.
Thank you. All right, we are still on Finance, Property and Supply Committee report. Item D, can I have a motion to approve item D1, the 2026-2027 ambulance coverage agreement for the home varsity football games?
So moved, Dwayne Sullivan.
A motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Bill Arnold.
Any discussion?
I just have a brief discussion.
Ms. Bayless?
I was just wondering if there's a specific or particular reason why the boosters or athletic organizations are not able to cover this particular cost?
Dr. Becker, do you have
The ambulance,
ambulance agreement for the football games? Or that might, Judy?
it is something that's budgeted for in the athletic budget to ensure that we have the ambulances there.
Oh, it's not really your question, sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I think that would have the same answer, yes.
Wouldn't that be just considered, on, I don't know, school's liability, on their behalf of liability to make sure we have it?
And having a child that needed to use it his senior year at another field, I am thankful that the ambulance was there on site.
Because
It is
the athletic programs are provided by the district, Dave, and so I'd assume that the liability belongs to us, to any booster program
Yes.
or.
Yes, and I don't know off the top of my head, but the PIAA may require this if your athletic director is able to answer that. I don't know off the top of my head.
Very important thing to have.
100%.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The ayes have it, the motion carries. Can I have a motion to approve the Hoffman Home Agreement? D2.
So moved. Janelle Wrestler.
All right, is there a second?
Seconded, Ally McCall.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The ayes have it, the motion carries. I have a motion to approve the Triangle Fire Protection to replace the fire alarm with the Transportation Maintenance Building, which is an approved capital project.
So moved, Ally McCall.
Do I have a second?
Nigeria.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
Just,
The ayes have it, the motion carries. Can I have a motion to approve the payment of invoices 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7?
So moved. Janelle Wrestler.
A motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second, go ahead.
Second, Bill Arnold.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
All those opposed say no. Ayes have it, the motion carries. I have a motion to approve the payment of invoices of the general fund checks.
So moved. Janelle Wrestler.
A motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second, Ally McCall.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan.
Thank you. Tom, thank you for giving us these sheets. Short notice. Can I hit you on a few items on these? If you wouldn't mind. I'm on the 4 of 10 right now.
Okay.
Okay, the LASD capital reserve transfers, what does that entail? Agree?
Those, if you remember, we have to transfer all the money for the construction project. In general fund, it has to be transferred to capital reserve. That is
The 1.1 million?
the 6.1 that we had.
Yeah, but the 1.1 that was left.
Yeah, yes, that's part of that. So they would be a direct relation to the capital reserve checks on the capital reserve list.
I thought it might be. Thank you. And dropping down to Corbett Incorporated, what's this 43,922.70 on this replacement furniture?
The corporate one right below it.
Yeah, Corbett Incorporated, replacement furniture, 43,922.70.
The
that the one they told us about?
Yeah, that's when Judy gave us a tour and told us that.
Yep. Yep.
So these cubicles, did they ever run through an FPNS meeting or any meeting at all?
I believe this was answered before.
Right.
These were prior done through budgetary means. I guess it was 2 years ago at this point, since we're in 26, 27. So this was done in 23, 20, and later half of 23, 24, and got carried through 24, 25 due to timing through the carpet, and then got executed here 26, 27.
Yeah, they were back ordered, and then when the carpet was approved, we asked them to hold them so that they didn't put them in and then take them out and then have to pay to have them reinstalled.
Technically, but 2 years is just finally payment now.
They were budgeted 2 years ago.
Okay, moving on to page 5 of 10, this Stephen R. Speck, I'm interested in this. And maybe Dr. Barry may know this.
Yep.
$6,000 for the admin retreat.
So it's actually two different things. So when we had our admin retreat, and you were going to meet him tomorrow, he was going to be part of my discussion here later as well. So he came in and worked with our admin team. I think it was in my report back when I gave a report on the retreat that he had come in and worked with our admin team while we were at the War College. And then he will be with us tomorrow as well, doing our open convocation with us. And we did have some of those funds offset with donations from RLPS and the Thunderbolt Foundation. But he does a lot of work with admin teams, helping with an amount of turnover that we've had and some of the changes that we were making, does a lot of work in building culture and relationships and what kind of impact every individual in this district has on our students and what type of impact we want to continue to have on our students and how do we do that. For those of you coming tomorrow, I'll take this out of my end of the word report and add it now. For those of you coming tomorrow, he will be speaking to the entire staff and to the board members who are there about the role that each of us plays and how we can all work together to move the district forward and the culture and the legacy that we want to build and leave here. So that's a little bit about Stephen, and you will meet him tomorrow.
Now, Dr. Berryman, if you wouldn't mind indulging me, for the $6,000, how much time does he spend here?
So on the day at the War College, he was with us all day. And then tomorrow he'll be here for a few hours.
So is that a 10-hour day, 8-hour day? Just curious. But just
Between the two, let's call it 8 hours.
8 hours. Okay, so it's 8 hours.
7 to 8 hours.
And Tom, right down below that, Reality Works Incorporated, welder, $20,063.48.
We received a grant from the state, and that's a welder that Dr. Becker can talk about a little more. That's that grant we got that.
Virtual.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was a grant that went through that we applied for. That kind of virtual reality, 2 of them. They did virtual reality welders were down with Mr. Grant.
So when you say virtual reality, it's not a real welder, it's just.
No, so he has multiple stalls down there, but it's another opportunity for kids to be on it, to utilize it, because we have limited space as far as the stalls that are on there, so it's another opportunity for kids to experience something hands-on, but not, again, it's virtual reality.
And on that note, and excuse me for asking Dr. Berryman, because I asked you this before. Can I ask again, what kind of welding program do we have here? I know it's not like, I don't know how to put it. You said kind of quasi.
So Jesse Brandt, our ag teacher, is the one who does the welding, but it's not a full welding program. Like we don't have a standalone course for like STIG and throwing the blank on the other one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Welding. But he does do some introductory things through his ag courses. Every year we do have 3 or 4 kids that we do send over to KLK at Southwestern High School. They do evening programs for welding. And Conewaga Contractors does a really nice job of helping us pay for the equipment that these kids need. They need their entire welding kits. So working with Beth Becker and Conewago Contractors, they do a really nice job of outfitting our kids. And then knowing Ken Kirkpatrick over at the school and Bruce Lee, who helped get that up and running over at Southwestern, we've been able to send 3 or 4 kids every year, which is a really great opportunity for them. And then last year, realizing that I'm just going to go on here for a second, realizing that our membership with the Chamber of Commerce had lapsed, I went to Tom and had that reinstated with Hanover, because then that also allows our kids to go out and get shadowing opportunities and internships in addition to the welding. So we're trying to get our kids out into the welding as much as we can, because it is a need.
So this 2 welders that we're purchasing or the grants, these actually get them and open the door to them to actually use a real welder? Because we don't use one
Quite
here, right?
potentially. We do have 3 bays or 4 bays, 4 welding bays. And so they do learn some very
Okay.
foundational, basic welding if they're in, I can't remember which course or courses Jesse integrates it in, but there's a couple, Mr. Brown.
All right, thanks for that.
Any other questions?
Yes.
On the general fund?
I do. I'm going down the list. Sorry. Amazon Capital Services, Tom, right below it, 10,650.90. Class dividers, storage cabinet, lab supplies.
So Amazon, I'll just say there's probably another 50 invoices that make up that amount. So those are just some of the brief ones that make it onto the summarized list. So it's probably about this thick for every month's payment, since Amazon is qualified and for procurement purposes, and we can use those frequently. So usually just the top items make it for the board to see on here. So otherwise,
It's various items.
It's various
Various.
supply items.
Excuse me for asking, because I see all this, and it's like when I go on to page 6 of 10, Nucella Incorporated is 22,872.79. I have no idea what that is. It just says Nucella, then it says Nucella again. Subscription.
So
Oh, Newsella.
Yeah.
It's a
Newsella,
reading
sorry.
subscription.
Okay,
It's for
okay.
reading.
It's for reading.
And they also have like social studies, science, but it's
And
a
the-
curriculum resource.
In the next page 7 of 10, the Facilities Management Express says FMX annual subscription. Do we subscribe to something for facilities management?
That's our ticketing system. So that's if we have a maintenance request, a technology request, a transportation request, scheduling. To schedule this board meeting, we have to put an FMX in to make sure the tables are set up and everything. So that's just our ticketing system.
FMX reports every month.
Okay, that's FMX reports. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Now right below that, Kurtz Brothers, folders and pencils. Just curious, that's almost $5,000. I'm not knocking, I'm just curious, do we really spend that much on pens and pencils?
So a lot of those vendors with that high amount are part of the LIU consortium bid we do. So that's district-wide purchasing. And like I said, it could encompass more things than folders and.
Okay. Let's see, I'm sorry I had to go through this, but it's hard to sometimes think of. When I go to the other one, the next one, oh, wait a minute, it's not the same. Yes, it is. When I go to the 6/11/2026 one, Jamco Products, Field Maintenance Service, $36.95.
Yes.
Which one?
The other general fund, it's the back. They're all stapled together. After it goes 1 to 10, the general fund, just go right into the next.
Oh, it's connected to our beginning packet. You just keep going. It'll start 1 to 10, then it'll start over again. You can set it in our table.
That's it. What page?
1 of 8. Starting over, 1 of 8. And it's the 6/11, so you'll see the date. Jamco Products, Field Maintenance Service.
That's where we get overseeding, we get our grub control, we get all of our maintenance done for our fields. Jamco helps support our maintenance team to get all those fields up and running every year.
Does that include fertilizer?
It would include a lot of fertilizer, aeration, seeding, the whole works to make those fields up and running for the sports seasons.
Then we go to next page, 2 of 8. We got Hilliard custodial supplies. I'm curious, 22,848.02.
It's our summer cleaning. If you ever through the building, everything gets moved out and cleaned. So that's all the summer cleaning supplies to get the building up and running.
Is that to a private contractor?
So Hilliard's a very well-known local vendor for custodial supplies. And we do get a lot of those supplies bid out through the LIU consortium as well.
Also, we do get a better deal when we're bidding them. Is that the same with the oh, that's Jamco. I'm skipping over here. Oh, I guess. Hopefully, I got to jump over here. Oh, Americhem, 2 custodial supplies, 8,282.77. Is that also involved in the same process? Yes. Okay. So that's over the summer, or does this bleed into the school year?
A little bit of both, but it's majority of summer cleaning. All the waxes and polishes that they need, all the cleaning supplies to clean all and sanitize all the classrooms.
Thank you for taking me through that, Tom. Appreciate it so much. That's it. I'm sorry.
Anything else? Well, Ms. Bayless.
I have page 2 of 10 at the top. Our water sewer came in. Is that the date on this invoice says July 1st to August 8th, but usually the water bills are like a 3-month time frame.
Right.
Is our water bill 3 month or is our water bill once a month?
No, our water bill's quarterly as well. Yes.
So
That would be for the ending in June, I believe. So it got paid in July.
okay. So we get $17,309 for water.
Water and sewer, yes.
So this would be for the month of
These would be for the preceding 3 months.
April, May, and June.
Usually, yes. It's usually the preceding 3 months.
April, May, and June, payable in July. All right, and then the other two are pretty much the same, they're just on different pages. Understand we needed a locksmith for the use of a locksmith. I got it here.
You know that we did
Page 3 of 8.
have to use a locksmith for the project.
June 4th, stated June 4th, is that the one?
Find it here.
It's $927, and then they also need a locksmith on. I mean, are these for new locks?
Sometimes they're new, sometimes they're existing. It just kind of obviously situational when we have to call them in to fix. I know I've gotten my key stuck several times out here and they've had to come assist.
Well, then the end of June, June 25th, we had another locksmith for $737. Seems like a lot of money. I mean, I know locksmiths are not cheap, believe me, I know. But that and the other one was 900 and something, seems like a lot of money.
A lot of those, if the tumbler's bad, you have to replace the whole core, which are not inexpensive.
Yeah, but they gotta be replacing more than one lock for $927.
I would have to look,
Okay.
at that,
Great.
verify.
All right, well, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
One more quick question, Tom. Can you just clarify, Christ Transportation Incorporated says athletic trips, 108,233.55. What does that, what term does that cover? Or is that being billed for just certain athletic events?
What page? So I can,
It is 3 of 8.
what was the amount again?
It was 108,200.
That would be a month's installment plus athletic trips. So that's why there's a June installment. So it'd be all the, we break it down in equal installments across the year, so it's more predictable rather than paying the as is. So that's an installment for it, and then that's a reconciliation at the end of year of what the actual costs are. So that's one installment. We'll go through the reconciliation process here now that we're doing the audit portion, and then also that athletic trips for that month. So it encompasses.
So it's just not athletic.
No, it is also just regular transportation.
Regular, that makes sense. I kind of thought to myself, how could it be 108,000 for just athletic?
So we take out what the estimated cost would be, and we break it into 10 equal payments. And at the end of the year, if it's higher or lower, we reconcile that with our auditing process.
Thank you for clarifying that. It makes me feel better because I just saw the athletic trips and it hit me. But thank you, Tom.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. The ayes have it, the motion carries. Capital project checks. Can I have a motion? I have a motion to approve the capital project checks.
Down McCall.
Motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second, Jeannie Ewan.
All right. Any discussion?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan.
Thank you. Tom, on the Trump floor coverings, high school flooring, was that those rooms?
Correct.
Okay, the rooms.
Yep, the four, I think it was four to six, I remember the exact.
4 of them, yeah.
We all saw that together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Harrisburg wall and flooring, now, I understand that the district all big carpet, but the question I have for you is 24,630.52. When we approved this capital project, I remember it being 52.5. Is there a difference there for a reason, or?
Came in cheaper.
So it came in half? Holy moly.
Was that for the installation and the material? Just one or the other.
I don't remember that off the top of my head.
That might be part of it too. Because didn't we buy the carpet in advance and then
we also broke out the break room as well. So it will encompass some of that. So I can't remember. I can circle back with that answer. I just don't remember off the top of my head what that encompasses.
So I was kind of trying to get so when we did the project, it was listed at 52.5. I was just trying to get a total figure of what we ended up paying when it was all done.
I generally try to report that out to FPS.
Okay.
Once we have a cleanup, like what we spent last capital reserve, capital project, and then what we're asking for the next go round.
On the page 1 of 1, once again, it says refinishing high school floors. Are they the same floors in the same 4 classrooms? It's 10,590.
If it's Trump floor covering, then yes.
Okay.
It would be all part, they were the ones that executed that.
That work's already done?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it and the motion carries. Ms. Ressler.
Just like maybe just so we can respect people's time, just send these questions in email.
Yes, I think that's a typical practice.
Yeah.
So if there's detailed line by line, we'll make sure that happens.
Yeah.
Personnel report. Is there any items that we'd like to be pulled and voted on separately? Or can we vote on all of these items collectively?
Are we going to comment on all of them separately, or, I mean, not separately, but can we?
Any of them.
You can discuss on any of them, but it's only if there needs to be a separate vote. All right, hearing none, can I have a motion to approve personnel report items A through M?
So moved, Janelle Russell.
Motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second, Ally McCall.
I'd like to congratulate all the new staff hires and thank them for joining the Littlestown Area School District and welcome them. And thank all of the student workers that worked over the summer. And yeah, I think that's about it. Just thank you to everybody that's involved, whether they're a coach, advisor, our people, our consistently, we recognize them as the strongest part of our district, and we thank them all for being involved. Any further discussion?
I just want to say, I think it's great. I can see at least 4 alumni under the new hires or the staff hires. So I think it's just fantastic to see our alumni coming back and contributing to our school district and this community and to investing in our students in whatever capacity they're in. I think it's wonderful. And I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Thank you.
I have a question.
This is you.
So we only have one building substitute now?
No, this is the second. There's one at the high school that's under the transfers. And the
Oh,
ACES
okay.
is the
So
under the
Lisa
hires.
is not a building substitute.
We
anymore.
transferred her. I think she's under the transfer or
The staff.
the hires to teacher aid. Sure. So
Thank you. Just a couple questions. Dr. Fiaski, with some of these high staff hires, I see a lot of learning support, autistic support. How close are we to having all the teachers and such that we need for the programs in these areas? All but 2. Okay, so we're doing good? Good, very good. Second question is, can somebody, maybe Dr. Berryman can do this, what's this MOU between the LASD and the LEA?
So we are having an MOU with the LEA because of Bonnie Showbaker's retirement. It is a contracted position, so it's within the collective bargaining agreement, but the union has agreed to go into this MOU with us. Hiring this time of year for a math teacher, we don't always get the best candidates. And with merging of building, we want to make sure that we know if we really need to replace the position or not after a year of being together and looking at schedules. So they agreed to go into this MOU with us, which allows us to hire a long-term sub versus hiring somebody permanently.
So that's what that's.
Yes, and that would be Cole Cooper, number 14. He is going to be our long-term sub in math for this coming school year.
Who's going to be?
Cole Cooper.
Cole? Oh, okay. Cole Cooper. Got it. Thank you. And one more note that I'm not going to sit here and pick on any individual that wants to be a volunteer in this district. I think it's great when people come forward and want to volunteer. The only statement that I want to make is for over 2.5 years, almost 3 years now, I have been trying to be a volunteer in this district. I was a volunteer, at least at the concession stand at the basketball when I first came on. And that's where I met Dr. Berryman at the time. And still to this day, I'm still not on the list, but yet we see Bill Arnold's on the list. Nothing against Bill Arnold. I think it's kind of crazy that we bring on other board members and we go around me. This is going on the 3rd year of this. In my opinion, I think this is purely political. I have not been a risk to anybody, and I passed all my credentials, everything, just as well as Bill Arnold did. And I can't vote against Bill Arnold because Bill Arnold passed everything that's required. So I just think it's a little unfair that I'm still sitting here and watching them be understaffed in the concession stand at the basketball games, and I can't volunteer. So I just wanted to make that note before we vote on this, because it's something that was very important to me. I enjoyed volunteering, and I did volunteer. So that's all I want to say on that.
I mean, that was a completely bit different board that voted that you couldn't volunteer.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Under the curriculum, co-curriculum and policy report, there's only 2 items. So anybody have anything they'd like to be, you want it to be separate?
It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any items that we want to be separated? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve curriculum, co-curriculum policy items A and B?
So moved, Dwayne Sullivan.
Section on the floor. Second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Mr. Yerger is not present tonight, but we have a couple action items under the JOC report. Can I have a motion to approve Janelle Ressler's resignation as the ACTI alternate representative?
So moved, Jeannie.
A motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Seconded, Dwayne Sullivan.
Any discussion?
The only discussion I want to make on it is please don't freak me out anymore with this. First time I read recommend approval of Janelle Russell's resignation, I thought she was resigning. That's a joke. Sorry. No, it wasn't a dream. I didn't say it was a dream. No, it just hit me. I'm like, what? No, because of the resignations we've been having lately. I kind of saw that, kind of thought, oh no, not another board member. Well, I said, not another one. And in all honesty, that's the first thing. It wasn't anything that way. It was like, oh my God, not another board member. We got to go through another appointment. I'm sorry, but I had to bring that
I
up.
will say you're not the only one that read it that way.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Berryman, because it freaked me out.
I don't have the time to put into it and I feel bad. I'm very passionate about acting. I love it. But I just am very, very busy. And fall is my busiest season. So unfortunately, I need to step down from this. So I appreciate you guys honoring that.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Ayes have it, the motion carries. At this time, I will open the floor for nomination of a new ACTI alternate representative.
I would like to nominate Bill Arnold.
Arnold has been nominated. I have a second.
Joe whispered a second.
Are there any further nominations? Hearing none, do we need a motion to close nominations?
Yes.
Can I have a motion to close nominations?
So moved, Dwayne Sullivan.
Is there a second?
Second and Ally McCall.
Vote on that.
Yes.
All in favor of closing nominations signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Nominations are closed. Do you want a motion in a second or? Can I have a motion to approve Bill Arnold as the alternate representative to the Adams County Technical Institute?
Move, Joe Yoke.
Seconded, Janelle Ressler.
And seconded, any discussion?
Yes, Nick. I'm sorry. What? I'm trying to remember. Is it the last Wednesday of the month? The meetings are?
I think it's the fourth Wednesday.
Fourth Wednesday, which would be the last. Okay.
Except for the weeks where except for the months where there's 5 Wednesdays.
Oh, that's right. There are.
Once in a while that happens.
Oh, it does. So there are 5, because I'm trying to remember back to when I went. So you can dedicate yourself time-wise to it. I mean, and here's another question. Are you going to go along with Steve? Or are you just going to go if Steve can't go?
I don't think I've given you a reason that don't have my own opinion. I'm going to do what's best for the district, best for our students.
I think that he meant, are you going to meetings with?
Yeah, I thought you were telling me I'm going to go along with this decision.
No.
It's understood.
Yes, I do plan on that.
Okay, even if Steve's there?
Yes.
Good, very good. I appreciate it.
It's very important, this school district, that we have a technical trade option.
Correct.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
know,
for
and
knowing.
that we know what's going on too.
Right.
And hopefully you'll bring us back information.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Arnold.
Thank you.
Or maybe not. Just kidding.
SBA report, there is none for this month. Dr. Berryman.
I'm gonna give it.
Okay, go right ahead.
I'll try to keep it short for everybody's time here. We did talk about the ribbon cutting. I would like to thank all the board members who were able to attend. Our previous board members, our administrative team really showed up for the day. Thank you all for being there. It turned out to be a really nice event. The number of people who came in for tours, everybody just had really great things to say. So very positive overall event. And I believe it went on to social media today, some of the updates for that. Tomorrow, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Tomorrow is our big district kickoff. Breakfast starts around 7:30, which you are all welcome to attend. 7:30 to 8:30 is breakfast. We plan to get the program started right around 8:30. We new staff, outstanding staff, some comments from me. Nick will have a couple of comments to say, and then we will hear from Stephen Speck, who you had brought up earlier this evening. I think you'll really enjoy hearing his message tomorrow. We did a quick check-in today. We had a principals meeting with all the building level principals, just did a quick check-in. making sure everything is in place for the next 3 days of professional development. Joey has done a really nice job of making sure everything in our transition, that nothing got lost in our professional development over the next 3 days. So we had met with them, making sure they're good to go. I gave them a token. If they need one of us in the next couple of weeks, they can turn in their token and we'll be there for them. We'll be there for them anyway, but so they got a token for that today. Mr. Moran and I have it on our calendars for the first full week of school to be at arrival and dismissals at both buildings, just to lend a helping hand wherever we're needed, just to make sure everything is going smoothly and that our kids are welcomed into the building, as I know the principal team will also be doing. I do have 2 dates in September that I will be stationed at the elementary school all one day and at the secondary, so that I can, even though I know our staff, it gives the teachers and the support staff an opportunity to come in and meet with me, have a little one-on-one, just share and connect with each other. In this new role, they might have different things to tell me, so we'll see. So I do have a couple of days set up to be able to do that. There are still a couple of board members that I need to meet with. So if you could check your calendars, I would love to have a one-on-one with you as well. I'm putting all the information that I've gotten from our admin team and the 2 different things I've done with them, a questionnaire and a one-on-one. And what I'm hearing from you guys, using our AI resources and really making sure the themes that I'm hearing and some of the concerns and what some goals should be are aligning with everything. So that's my report.
Any questions for Dr. Berryman? Thank you. The FMX report and LIU board meeting minutes are noted. The board met in a closed session on Tuesday, August 11th, 2026 at 5 p.m. to conduct a conference for the receipt of information. Specifically, this meeting was with the board and representatives of the Adams County Technical Institute and occurred for the board to gather information related to the proposed property purchase by ACTI. No deliberations occurred during this meeting. Please note, Section 707B of the Sunshine Act specifically states that an agency is authorized to participate in a conference which need not be open to the public, but the deliberation of agency business may not occur at a conference. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court reaffirmed the permissibility of board conferences in its 2013 decision of Smith versus Township of Richmond, which confirmed that the closed gatherings may be held solely for the purpose of collecting information or educating agency members about an issue. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I move Dwayne Sullivan.
Second.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. Motion carries. We are adjourned.